In this video, we're going to talk about a service that we use at Disney and discuss whether we think it's worth the money or not.
Yep, so stay tuned because that's coming up right now. Welcome to our channel. My name is Daphne.
I'm Bob.
And if you are finding us for the very first time, we certainly hope that you stick around and click that little red subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And those of you who have been here before, welcome back. We have something a little bit different for you today. We haven't done a review in a while, have we?
We have not.
But we recently went to Walt Disney World and we had an incredible 12-night vacation there. And we want to share, like Bob said in the opening, a little bit of a review on a new service that we used while we were on our vacation. We wanted to start off by letting you know this video is not sponsored by this company. We paid for and used this service on our own, and we just wanted to let you know if it is a good value or not, and if this is something that you should take advantage of on your next trip to Disney World. The company that we are going to be talking to you about today is White Glove Orlando Tours. So Bob, what is White Glove Orlando Tours?
They're a guided service to help you maximize your time at the parks.
Yes, and now we're going to talk about how this program worked for us. And you can have a similar experience with your family, but they would tailor this to your family's needs and your children's ages. So the first thing that we did when we decided to book this tour was we spoke to a young lady on the phone by the name of Kelsey. Kelsey handled all of the preliminary stages of the tour booking. She asked us some simple questions like, what park do we want to use the service at? And what date were we planning on using this service? Something to note, this tour can actually be done at any one of the 4 Disney theme parks, as well as Universal Orlando.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so we decided to use this at Magic Kingdom because we wanted to make the most of all of the rides and attractions that Magic Kingdom has to offer. A couple of months prior to our tour date, we received a phone call from our tour guide, Sydney, so that she can gather some information on our family, things like what kind of things do we want to accomplish at the park that day? What are our likes and dislikes? How old are our children? Are there any restrictions or limitations as far as health is concerned? And that way she can set up all of our fast passes and plan the day so that we can do the most.
Yeah, the whole day is tailored to what we can do.
Absolutely. Now you do pay for a 6-hour tour. You can do a shorter tour if you like, but the minimum amount is 6 hours.
That's better than the SS Minnow tour though. So that one I've heard goes way past 6 hours.
Thank you, dear. And if you decide that you'd like to extend your day, then you can do this at an additional fee. And you can contact this company. I'm going to make sure I leave all their information in the notes below, so you can contact them for a quote, since that varies depending on your group size. So an overview of our day. Here's kind of how the day went for us. So how did it work, Bob?
Well, we met Sydney, I think, before extra magic hours. Right outside the gates of Magic Kingdom. I don't know about like the strollers and the wheelchairs and stuff like that. And we were able to meet her before extra magic hours, get acquainted and get into the parks to take advantage of the full extra magic hours time. As
we were walking towards the castle that morning to see the morning show, Sydney was asking the kids all kinds of questions like what their favorite Disney characters were and favorite Disney movies and what have we done so far at Disney World and what were our plans the rest of the trip, just to kind of build a good rapport with us. And I thought she did a great job with that.
Yeah, well, the kids fell in love with her within about 60 seconds.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
awesome.
Yeah, it was. They were right in love with her.
Yeah, they're like, can you babysit us? It was so cute. So we headed towards the main stage at the castle, and this was so that we could see the welcome show on the stage, and we hadn't seen this one before because the last time we were there it was at the train station, and she gave us this option, did we want to see that show or did we want to line up immediately at the entrance to Fantasyland so we could get right over to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. We hadn't seen the show, like I said, so we thought we'd do that. But because it was raining, they did cancel the show. So we got in line, went over towards Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which was also closed.
Once we said, you know what, let's just go do some other rides, we just kept moving. We never even slowed down at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Once we realized it was closed, she said, do you want to stay here or do you want to move on? We said, let's move on, and never even stopped walking. After we passed Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, she was able to give us kind of a layout of what lands we'd be in for that day, and then what rides also we'd be experiencing. So just kind of an overview of the day right there from the very beginning.
Yeah, it was really nice because she was able to keep things moving very smoothly. We started out in Fantasyland, I believe, and by the time we finished with that, we ended up in Liberty Square, which was where we were going to be having lunch that day, and then on to Frontierland, Adventureland, and we ended the day at Tomorrowland. So we were able to experience everything that the park had to offer. What I also really appreciated was she left a lot of flexibility in our day. So even though we were moving on very smoothly from one land to the next, there was time in our day to stop and do a little bit of shopping if we wanted to, or take in an extra attraction like Mickey's PhilharMagic, which we did do on that day.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Between Seven Dwarfs Mine Train being closed and going to see Mickey's PhilharMagic, I mean, there was, as we were moving through the park, there was a lot of flexibility into what we actually wanted to see, and being able to get to experience all that.
Yeah, there wasn't anything left out. If there was something that we wanted to do, she was going to add that into our day. If you have a last minute plan that if you want to change something last minute, she's going to make sure that you can do that. It wasn't about what her plans were, it was about making us happy and giving the kids the most magical experience, and she did that, I felt.
Yeah.
The other thing that I thought was a lot of fun is while we were moving through the crowds at the park, walking to the next ride or the next land, she was offering up all kinds of fun facts about Disney World and the different rides we were seeing.
Yeah, our kids totally dig that. I mean, they really like it. As we're walking from one place to another, that's a way to kind of keep them entertained, is just give them random facts about things. They really enjoy Disney World, and not just the rides, but also the story behind everything. Yeah.
Now that we've given you an overview on what the day kind of looked like for us, we want to tell you exactly what we were able to accomplish in that day with Sydney.
Between, 8 and 2, I think we were able to ride 16 different rides, while we were also able to see Mickey's PhilharMagic and do a little shopping in a couple of stores, stop and eat lunch, and also deal with bad weather. I mean, we had, I know at least Seven Dwarfs Mine Train closed, and then we were going to go to Splash Mountain.
Right, we didn't do Splash Mountain because of the weather.
So, I mean, there were changes to our plans, and we were still able to do 16 rides in 6 hours while eating lunch and seeing a show and doing shopping.
Yeah, as well as taking in all those fun facts about Disney. I think that was kind of part of the magic for me, was we were learning things that we didn't know.
Yeah, they were totally digging that. I mean, they love hearing that stuff.
Well, Bob, now that we've told them everything about this company and what our day was like, do you feel like this was a worthwhile service?
Even as a finance person and somebody who deals with this stuff every day, I would say it is 1,000% worth it. We did 2 days worth of experiences in what, 6 hours?
6 hours.
6 hours.
Yeah.
And especially for somebody who maybe has a little bit less time at the parks than we did. I hear a lot of people say, well, I didn't get to ride rides, or I didn't really get to do anything because I was waiting in lines. I can't even tell you how much better this would have made your Disney experience. Yeah. Just get to do all these different things.
And even as we kind of think of ourselves as experienced Disney goers, we've been there several times. I've put hundreds of hours literally into planning each of our trips, and we still felt that there was tremendous value in this. Between the extra fast passes that they can give you to get you to the front of those lines so that you can keep moving through your day. Not to mention, they were an extra set of hands and eyes to keep an eye on your children, help you out if maybe one of your kids is too small to go on a certain ride.
That's like a big thing.
Space Mountain. Then they will sit out with that child and the rest of the group can go on the ride together. We didn't need that service at Magic Kingdom because Addie was finally tall enough, but it is there. And then the other nice thing too is she was able to actually take the kids on a couple of rides that we chose not to ride. So for example, the teacups. This is something that Bob doesn't like to do because it makes him very motion sick.
Yeah.
I did go on it that morning, but normally I don't. And she was able to go on that ride with the kids. She also took them on Tomorrowland Speedway while we went and grabbed a cup of coffee. She said to us, she's like, hey, do you mind if I take the kids on this ride? Will you guys go stand in line for your coffee? And then by the time you're done, we'll be finished and we'll meet back here in this spot. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Another thing that a lot of people don't think about is when you want to have a group photo, and obviously Memory Maker is great, and I always have Memory Maker. But there are times where you can't find a PhotoPass photographer in a location that you want to get a picture at. and then this tour guide will then be the photographer for you, so that your whole group can be in the picture. So that was a nice extra perk as well. When you go to a quick service location, then the guide will actually offer to go up to the counter, order the food for you while you get your kids seated at the table, get them all set up for lunch, and then she will bring the food back to the table. Now, this wasn't something that we actually needed her to do because we have older children that didn't need to be seated in high chairs and all of that, but it was a really nice extra service, I thought.
Well, and it was so nice for us just to have them go sit at the table.
Mm-hmm.
And just say,
she
okay.
stayed with the kids.
Exactly. She stayed with the kids at the table and said, okay, we will get all the food and bring it to the table. And then we were able to stand in line by ourselves. And it was just, it was
nice.
Mealtime was so much less stressful.
It was like a little mini vacation.
Inside of our vacation.
Would we use this tour service again, or do we recommend this tour service? Absolutely. I think that it was pretty clear throughout this video that we think very highly of the service that was provided to us. We got a lot done in a very short amount of time, and especially if you're going on a very short vacation, I think this is tremendous value. I want to also mention a few other services that this company does provide. So this is their tour service, but they also have another service called Extra Hands Childcare.
That's the one we used for the babysitting,
we
right?
did. We used this, and we will be reviewing that service as well on another video. But
spoiler.
Make sure you stay tuned for that one.
Yeah.
But the Extra Hand Childcare services is great. In fact, you can actually get in-room childcare at your resort. So they will come to your resort, watch your children for you, and you can go off to the parks or have a nice adult evening at a restaurant that night, and they'll stay there with your children and do all the activities.
We were able to celebrate our anniversary there. What was it? It was within a couple days of our anniversary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were able to celebrate our anniversary there while they were watching the kids and eat sushi for the first time and watch the fireworks from the Grand Floridian.
No, Contemporary.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was a great night. So they do the in-room childcare service, and they also do an in-park service. They will be that extra set of hands for you inside the park as well. They also have a stroller rental service. So this company kind of does it all. They make sure that you have the most magical vacation while you're in Florida, whether you're visiting the Walt Disney World parks or Universal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And something that I guess at the beginning I had a hard time with is we're already spending thousands of dollars to get to Disney. Why is it worth it to spend hundreds of dollars to have someone help you through the parks? And really for me, I hear so many people come back from Disney and say, well, I didn't get to see this. I spent the whole time standing in lines. Mm-hmm. I didn't really get to do what I wanted. And I look at that, and after we used this service, I thought, oh my gosh, that is what these people needed, was somebody to guide them through the parks, guide them to the rides that they wanted to see, and get them on those rides in a normal amount of time, not waiting 2 or 3 hours for random rides at peak times. In, you know, as I hear other people come back from Disney and with their complaints, you know, I go back to this service and think, oh my gosh, that would have solved so many of the issues that you guys had.
It would have given that kind of person a whole different experience. I mean,
again, exactly, a whole different experience. I mean, you would have had a positive Disney experience, maybe instead of a negative one, because you're able to do so much more, experience so much more.
So we give it 2 thumbs up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And
my other one's over here. It's a little numb. I've had it around her for a while.
You can watch our first vlog from our Magic Kingdom day with White Glove Orlando Tours. So we've shared that first vlog already.
You'll see it on the vlog.
Yeah, and then we have part 2 coming up most likely. I'm not sure when this video is going up exactly, but you should see this video sandwiched in between part 1 and part 2 of our White Glove Tour. So we hope that you get a chance to watch both of those so you can get to see the experience for yourself. And we hope that if you are not subscribed to this channel, that you go ahead and click that little red subscribe button right now and click the like button while you're at it, because that really helps us out.
Like.
Thank you again so much, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Click take 19. No, you look like a crazy stalker. Even worse.
So, what is White Glove Orlando Tours?
I don't know, so I'm gonna pass it off to this guy who has no idea what's coming his way.
So we're having a hard time because we're in a brand new setting.
And we suck.
And we
That's
suck.
why we suck.
And we haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
No, terrible. We hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Oh my god. Please help me end the video.
What are you doing?
I don't know how to end them or begin them. That's my biggest problem. So
it's over.